welcome back to another warm-up show with the co-host directly for the Sunshine State in Florida, Coach Frenchy, and we have to go all the way to the north in Toronto, Ontario to find another co-host of the evening. Welcome back, Mr. ENORTAP! Oh, the BRUNO for the Toronto Maple Leaf fans already here. Welcome back in the house.
Hello, Coach. Hello, Hockey Nation. It's Wednesday night. Not a busy night tonight.
April 20, Mr. ENORTAP, 2022. We are about 9 days before the end of the season. Only a light night tonight, four games on the program, so it's going to be easy. A couple of news around the league. First of all, we need to go all the way there for the leaderboard. The good news and the bad news. Let's starting with the good news. Mr. Yamo and Andrew and also Alan Vaillancourt did a very good night last night, 7-3. Congratulations. Yamo is getting now, go alone with 58, but he's not alone anymore. He's also with John Gregor. Both of them take the lead for the totals during the week, so congratulations, both of them. The bad news is not bad news. Honestly, we have to be said like a good news. Nobody go to jail. So that's the good news. Nobody go to jail. The lowest, it was 4 and 6, and we decide like the DeLwitt Smith verificator decides, so no, we have to go with a minimum of 3 to go to the jail. So, so nobody jail. Be a quiet night for everybody, but see tonight. Tonight, honestly, if you are 1 and 3, you go to jail tonight. So be careful with your selection. We'll be interesting to see that. So you can see the leaderboard. Congratulations. But last night, we have to mention one thing, Mr. ENORTAP, because Andrew Lepage hit a really great, not a record, I think, it's not, but 3 right score.
3 exact scores?
Yep. He got 3 awesome. Exact score. I did 2 yesterday, by the way.
2? I thought you had 1.
I thought it was 2, because from your page before that, you going me, I just go from there.
Oh, because the previous page, remember, I didn't update it. That's why.
Okay, that's why. All right.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm just getting my back. You did a good job. Because I did not do it the night before, so I add 2 days. And that's what I did. That's all right. It's not a big deal.
That's all right. That's okay.
It's not a big deal. Andrew beat me anyway. It's not a big deal. The funny thing, Mr. ENORTAP, nobody got the right score. Like, nobody got the fantasy score. So the minor, it was 49, and everybody was over last night. We don't give any score for the lower. And then we have to congratulate, I think it's Richard no, it's Noner. Noner, he's in the chat right now, win the fantasy player with Barkov with a 3-goal last night, a hat trick. So Noner, take that one over there. So congratulations about this one.
Way to go, Noner.
That's what happened.
Yeah, for sure. Like it's we're starting to see a bit of a pattern now. The teams are getting ready for playoff hockey, which means they're going to tighten things up, and maybe the goals are going to be lower. Yep.
So we have a few people to welcome Mr. ENORTAP. Welcome Mr. Yamo Vertanen directly from Finland.
Yarmo, moi. How are you?
And we are from British Columbia. We cannot tell him good evening, but we can tell him good afternoon. Mr. Luke, welcome back in the house.
Hey, Luke. How's it going?
It's very early over there, so that's great to see this. And then, of course, he's back as the moderator, and he's back from Vegas. I'm talking about Mr. Danny Butterbean T back in the house.
Daniel, welcome.
But we have to open up the red carpet because the brother we love the most is back also with us tonight. Mr. Nooner, Roger L. in the house.
How's it going, Roger?
From upstate New York, welcome back, Mr. Jose Duarte.
Hey, Jose.
Utah, Ron with Kings, number 20, back with us.
Hey, Ron. How's it going?
Yes, I'm doing a game tonight in Edmonton at Dallas, so I'm going to be live tonight. And we have the scout, Mr. ENORTAP, Alexis Scout Dubuc, back with us.
Hey, Alex. How's it going?
And we're talking about Andrew a couple of minutes ago. Andrew is with us. Welcome back, Mr. Andrew Lepage, Center Heights.
Way to go, Andrew. 3 exact picks. Way to go.
And RJ Calabro, Sport, the insider of the Hockey National Show with all the updates. You just talk about the quarterback. Welcome back, Mr. RJ.
Hey, RJ. Welcome.
He got good coach, Andrew cheat, Danny said. No, say it was 6-4. Are you 6-4, Yamo? That's what you tried to tell me. I give you a game too much. That's possible. We have to ask about your information. Thank you. Funny. It looked like you can always go and play the fire alarm. Congratulations. I'm great out to leave Finland by set on ice of Baller Bear. Mr. Charles-Olivier Terrier, welcome back.
Welcome.
Renaud said, should Joshua Roy play in Sweden, Finland next year if he does not make the Avs? I think 5th year and the QM would be terminated to his process beginning to start NHL players.
Yeah, I think he should stay here. He should be in Laval if he doesn't make the team.
Yep.
That's where he's best served.
They have a rules about that one over there, so about that one over there. So wait a minute, we have a new member, a new one, Mr. Caleb Haywood, Mr. Laptop. Here we go, super chat, Caleb Haywood Rivers. Here we go. Caleb Haywood, welcome back. Thank you so much. Mr. ENORTAP. I tried to get it at the same time. When I'm dancing, I'm losing everything. But here we go. Great insight over here, Caleb. Underrated. Okay, channel. And by the way, ENORTAP, that's my abs room now. So, ENORTAP, thank you, Caleb. Very kind of you about that one over there. Really, Yamo, I thought he was reached something, said he was back, or maybe he could be back. Joseph Caleb. Joseph LANHAM is back in the house. Welcome back, Mr. Joseph LANHAM. We're just going to tell you who on MG.
We're having a tough battle this week, eh? Joseph?
To finalize the Joshua Roy, obviously he has to go back to Sherbrooke.
To Sherbrooke?
Yeah, you have to go back over there. He cannot play in somewhere else.
How does that work? I'm not sure how that works.
For Joshua Roy?
Yeah.
He cannot play Laval. He's still age. He's not age out. He's still 20 years old.
Oh, right. Okay.
So we have to go to QM. That's the problem that one over there. So that's a bad, not a bad thing, but that's happening about that one over there. Francois Pitre, welcome back.
Hey, Francois.
Francois, they cannot send Joshua Roy à Laval because he's still age junior. That's the rules. And between everybody.
Makes sense, yeah. I forgot he was young.
I just checked that Kedri back, but Lessegar is out. Yamo said that was excellent. Me with the super chat. NHL, welcome NHL back in the house.
Hey NHL, how's it going?
Thank you so much. NHL was not necessary. We appreciate a lot anyway. Thanks again. Lessegar did not travel with the app for the 3-game road date, but is expected starting at skate at home. The fancy free agent are dry up now in our tap. And nobody there anymore. Coach, I got 5 right last night at Pick Nashville. About that. The deal with. Yeah, you have right on Nashville, but yeah, maybe other location you're not right. So if I got here, the other time we're going to do something very specific right now. We're going to there, and we're going to go there. And it's time for Drop That Puck. Face off, Mr. ENORTAP. What? Pay attention the last 24 hours. What happening around the league? It's time for you to tell us everything, Mr. ENORTAP. And let's move on right away right there. And I have all the key words. It works very well. Now I don't have to go all the way looking, searching. It It works great,
Oh,
and I had to
all at
disappear.
your fingertips.
I'm gone.
You're gone. Check Kelly's score while
I'm
we're
looking
talking.
right now. I have to call DeWitt Smith.
Okay, well, we had a total of 10 games last night. I'm not going to touch on all of them, but just a few that sort of stuck out to me. Um, of course, the starting with the Montreal game, yet another shutout with Patrick Roy, with Carey Price in that. It's just an indication. If you look actually at the shots on goal that Carey Price has faced against teams, and the shots on goal that Montreal have taken as well, you'll notice that there's a pattern, which indicates that they're really trying to protect and shield Carey as much as possible when he's there. And so that's kind of it takes them away from trying to create offense as much as they can, and that's why I think we saw the two shutouts in those two games that Price has been in net. The Winnipeg and New York Ranger game, look at the Rangers, right? Three shutouts in a row. I guess coach got the final result. Three shutouts in a row. They're really priming up for the playoffs. The Rangers, they're tightening things up defensively. I think when you look at this team, they can play any style you want to play with them. And when you have a hot goalie like Shesterkin, he's going to carry you far. Like the thing about having a hot goalie is all he really has to do is steal one game in a 7-game series, and it changes the complexion of the series. It comes at critical times. We saw it last year in different series. What Vasilevsky did with what Carey Price did against the Leafs as well. Just turned the series totally around and in favor of their team. Tampa Bay, I don't know. I'm starting to get worried. I know a lot of people are saying, "Oh, don't worry. You know what? They'll get it together, and they're going to go far. They're the champions," which is all true to a certain degree. But the fact that they're, if you look at their last, I think it's 10 losses as far as I went. They're all against teams that are under 500 or not making the playoffs. And that's what worries me more than anything with Tampa Bay. And it's more of a reflection of, I think, players that are not meeting expectations right now, whether they're tired from going the distance for 2 full years, even though when you stop to think about it, even though they won 2 cups, they weren't full seasons. So the usual argument that a team has gone as long as they've gone all the way to the finals really doesn't hold as much water in my eyes. But it's worrisome here because right now, when I look at Toronto and I look at Tampa Bay, I'm seeing better indications from Toronto than I am Tampa Bay. So we'll see if they can get their act together over the next 5 games that they have left. Florida, I mean, they keep rolling. Yesterday, slightly different fashion. They didn't have to score a lot of goals. They came back. Huberdeau takes over the NHL lead in points with three assists yesterday. Barkov, just a beautiful goal there in overtime. I like the fact that every time it goes to overtime, they always put Huberdeau and Barkov together, and you can see that they just control the tempo of the game. They don't hesitate. They don't panic. They know each other very well, where they're going to be, and to me, even besides those guys in Florida, I think an unsung hero with 31 goals this year is Declare. Like, do we give this guy much hype? And yet he's got 31 goals. Like that just goes to show the depth that this team has. Boston, huge game against St. Louis, and came out on the positive side here with a 3-2 victory. Good to see there. Um, the game of the night, well, two of them really. Nashville in fine form against Calgary. This was a critical win for them. I think that they've pretty much uh, taken out Vegas and Vancouver, who they themselves were leading 2-0 and then trailing 3-2, and tied it late, but unfortunately cannot take home more than just a single point there. So that point that they left on the table, Vancouver, I fear is going to really hurt them right now. Their only chance is if they run the table and win all their games, and they're going to need help in order to get in. But I don't see that happening, and I don't see that happening with Vegas either. I think we're looking at the 8 teams in the West as they're structured right now. Maybe the order will change, but that's about it. LA, what can you say about Jonathan Quick? Like this guy yesterday, I thought I was watching most of this game, and some great opportunities that Anaheim had, and he just came up with save after save, just in phenomenal fashion. He's really been their unsung hero. Earlier it was Doughty, and when he was available, but lately it's been Quick, and it looks like if they don't put him in net the rest of the way, uh, they're doing a huge disservice to the team for sure. And those were the key ones. On a lesser note, San Jose winning over Columbus was important because they're teams that are around the bottom of the totem pole, and they're starting to rise above Montreal, which is always good because, as I said yesterday, every loss is a win for Montreal.
It's all right. I just want to mention something about this. The bad news for Vancouver is not only the point. They have 11 tie game. So if ever they reach, example, like Nashville or whatever, or Los Angeles, they tied the game, they tied the point, 93 point at the end, right? They're still going to be behind anyway because the number, the W. So that's the problem about that one over there for MICHEL. To answer to NHL, my name in the back is Jean Béliveau. Mr. ENORTAP. And we have another super chat with Miguel, ladies and gentlemen, with the NHL. Did it again! Super chat! $5. Hey, we go Rivers! Super chat! NHL! Super chat, Mr. NHL. Thank you so much for the gang of you, Mr. Now, I'm sorry, but ENORTAP cannot talk for 5 minutes. He just finished his cardio right now. He needs to catch up his breath. You can go out if you want to come back, Mr. ENORTAP. I can turn around the pain. Take water. That'll be good for you. And we have Mr. Real Deal Prim in the house. Mr. Real, welcome aboard. Sorry about that. Need to bring the camera over there. Today is finally a day where Arizona can realistically get 2 points tonight and tie Montreal.
Could they?
It's Chicago, I believe.
Yeah, they could. They could. I think Arizona is, at this point, they look very decimated. Ever since they had the injury bug hit them.
Alexis, ask you, Mr. ENORTAP, what's fun between Bergevin and Hughes at the trade deadline?
What's the difference between them or their trades? Well, it's hard to compare them because when Bergevin was in, I mean, his trades, he was looking for players to fill in gaps. Like he had a team for the most part. They were always playoff bound teams. He's looking to, just fill in some gaps here and there. Whereas what Gorton and Hughes have done is really built for the future and trying to shed, which they haven't completely done yet. That's going to be a big job this summer, is to shed a lot of the salary cap too.
So the best way to describe this, Mr. ENORTAP, Bergevin was more a buyer and Hughes was more a seller. So really what happened about that. Coach Soler will win the zone. Yes, Jose, they will win the Atlantic. Mr. Gabe, welcome back.
Welcome.
Can I sit and play right now? I feel like Edmonton, like Boston, could take them out of the series. Boston can reach them, by the way. Finished second at that moment. They are only 2 points behind. Pierre Martin, welcome back. Oh, Mr. Roland. Mr. Roland and Caleb South is back in the house.
Welcome, guys.
I don't know if you see this one, Mr. ENORTAP, but I was sharing with you. If I can find it. And it's fell out, can you again? Let's do it again. ENORTAP, you're going to be dead at the end of the show tonight. Here we go. I'm doing it for you. Super chat, $2 NHL Rivers. Here we go. Here we go. Super chat. Imagine, Mr. ENORTAP, if it was Andrew in the show. Andrew is right now dead on the couch. Rivers behind is flop. And that would be the Mr. Andrew. But we want to thank Mr. again, NHL. We have to give him an hype for him for sure. So congratulations, Mr. NHL. But we have to welcome Caleb Roland. Welcome back in the house.
Oh, my God!
Here we go. Welcome back, Mr. Detroit Red Wings and the Vancouver Canucks. I told you, Kelly, and the Leaf fan most have fans while the goal was low. I make quick is on the mission. Francois Pitt said, I think this guy has been underrated most of his career. He's a great player. What do you think about that?
I think Duclair has been underrated most. Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that run. It's, to me, I mean, he's not the only one on Florida. It's just the one today I saw that he had exactly 31 goals, and I'm going, oh my gosh, where did he get those from? But he is underrated for sure.
Dano scored a great goal yesterday, and he got his 25th of the season.
25th,
Congratulations for Philippe Dano. About
Actually,
that. Roland's sharing for Meilleur to get 100 points he used to set scoring record for the defenseman.
That would be very nice. I mean, here's a guy that at trade deadline time and even at the beginning of the season, they were thinking of where to send him. If I were Vancouver, I'd sign him up. I don't want to get rid of JT Miller in Vancouver. And Hughes has really turned it on since, I'd say, Christmas forward.
And it just he gave us $2 because of my thumbnail. I started changing my thumbnail now. So he started to like my thumbnail, and then we start to do some kind of graphic now. Welcome in the house, and don't forget to click on the likes and all kind of stuff like that. And of course, insight, greatness inside of you. Yours is coming very soon, Mr. ENORTAP. Don't worry. It's on the next project very soon. Nonor said, click on the likes. Thank you so much, Mr. Nonor, about this one. That's one between use a garden. Excellent. No, doing that's a good one. About that one over there. You said Vegas should blow up the team, but they just trade away future asset for a call in need to remain competitive. So the draft pick Buffalo got down ends up in top picks.
I don't think Vegas needs to blow it up. I just think they have to fix their salary cap situation a little bit. Like, I think maybe we may see the last of Pacioretty in Vegas. But you still got to, I mean, you got to cut them a little bit of slack as much as we don't want Vegas to be there. In all fairness, they were decimated with injuries this year. If they were a healthy team, like, anybody out there really believe at the beginning of the year you'd see Vegas not in the playoffs?
So again?
Does anybody believe at the beginning of the year that Vegas would not make the playoffs?
No.
Like, I think we all pretty much had them ranked number one and then the rest.
It's exactly our prediction with New York Islanders.
Well, yeah, in a way.
There you go. We couple of dancer right now. We talk about coach. Did you guys go over my question? Run with Kings.
Did you go over my which one's he talking about? Um,
I think that have been underrated. Most of his great players. That's the only thing I want to have. Is it that one you ask, Mr. Because I'm not, I'm behind right now, Mr. Coach. As vu ma question, Alexis? I think I did it. Pierre, thank brother. I don't know how good I'm at the dance. Yamo, every player in Florida has played amazing season. I think Forsyth Krislav is underrated. They got him almost free for Chicago. They got him free. Yamo, it was a claim. We answered to your question, Alexis. So we did that one. Yamo. By the way, great. Thank you so much, RG. RG, not sometime, all the time, he does a great job. Start next April 23rd, guys. The UFA Under 18 World Championship. It's a lot of game on ESPN Plus, a lot of game on NHL and NHL Network delay or tape delay anyway. And the reason I will invite you to watching those games because they are the players going to be drafted in 2023. Right. So the Connor Bedard, the Michkov, and all those kind of players over there. And then you can see also some player like Logan Coley is going to be there for Team USA. So it's pretty interesting watching this, Mr. ENORTAP, about one over there. Forsyth is underrated for Florida. What do you think about that?
Yeah, he's put in a good year as well. I think he's done a solid job, especially with the absence of Ekblad lately.
Renaud said, do you prefer to have Pacioretty at 6.5 for 6 years or 5.5 for 7 years?
He's saying Josh Anderson.
Yeah.
What were the numbers again?
6.5 or 5.5? 6.5 for 6 years or 5.5 for 7 years?
Well, they're different kind of players. I think Pacioretty gives you a little bit more offense than Anderson does. But I think Anderson gives you more speed. He gives you size. He's a power forward, and they're hard to find in the NHL. So I'd probably lean towards the younger Anderson than Pacioretty, especially since he's shown that he's very injury prone.
The problem I just want to mention is just not, it's not a problem, but Pacioretty is at $7 million. And Pacioretty since 2016, 64 games, 66 games, 71 games, 48 games, and 34 games. So he missed a lot of games in the last 6 years, Mr. ENORTAP.
Yeah, he's very injury prone.
So that's what we're at that moment. Hello, guys. And so this one, Mr. Poutine and Alan Villacourt.
Hey, guys. Welcome.
All right, I got it wrong now. I'm sorry. Sometimes I don't see the queue and you don't have no queue. Sometimes it's run. Most likely, it's Dallas visit Colorado, Nashville visit Calgary, or Nashville visit Colorado and Dallas visit Calgary.
Oh, my goodness.
So at the end of the day, who finished 7 and 8? Nashville 7 or Dallas 7?
I think Dallas finished 7th and Nashville 8th, just because of the strength of the schedule left.
All right, Mr. Andy Kouivoula, welcome aboard. José, Florida will win the division. Yes, it will. Alexis, peux-tu me répéter? Oui. Bergevin, c'était un acheteur de joueurs. Puis Hughes, c'est un vendeur de joueurs pour l'instant à cause des circonstances que les Canadiens sont éliminés. C'est pour la raison, Alexis, la différence est là pour l'instant. C'est dur à comparer parce qu'ils n'avaient pas la même mission quand ils faisaient leur choix personnel à that moment. Nuna, bonsoir Pierre. Pierre, bonsoir. It looked like everybody's bonsoir every time. That so, Mr. ENORTAP, we're not to go there. We have 4 games to talk about tonight and go from there. It's just a remind for everybody here. I just got, I forgot to mention this, Mr. ENORTAP, a couple of seconds ago.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
The final decision.
I don't know why they bother me when I'm already in the show now, but We have
You're
a
the
confirmation
coach.
from Deloitte Smith, verificator of all the prediction of for the result. It's confirmed. Kelly has 5 right choice yesterday, so she's going to be 5-5, and she's going to be confirmed for an additional number of 49-41. Mr. Untitled. The
Way to
Deloitte, they
go,
don't miss
Kelly.
anything, Mr. Untitled. They are
You
right
tell
there on the
coach.
map. They verify everything. So confirm, Kelly, you got your number 5-5. Congratulations about that. Alexis, ask you, are you agree with Lekanen trade?
It's hard to say right now, Alexis, because we have to see what happens with Barron down the road. I mean, this guy could turn out to be an excellent defenseman. It isn't until a few years later, when all the pieces start to develop that, and the players, that you get to evaluate the trade, right? So right now it's hard to say. Definitely, Colorado gets the better part of the deal. They're looking for a cup. They got a great player in Lekanen that fills in the gaps that they had, and a proven winner. So for them right now, they're ahead of the game. We'll see in about 4 or 5 years.
I'll be honest with you. Both teams win a long-term Montreal win. They got a right defenseman they don't have. They got a first-round pick they're going to get at the bottom of the 26, 27, 20, of the next season, 2023. All right, so that's another thing about that. And Lekanen with Montreal is going to be anyway a bottom 6. So we're going to have other players can almost do what he does, exactly what he did for the Montreal Canadiens. At the end, Montreal win for what they're looking for. Now, Colorado win because they need a Lekanen at the bottom, the 6 foot, and chasing for the Stanley Cup. So for me, I just see Montreal. It was a great trade for Montreal to trade Lekanen. They get more at anything they can get in return if Lekanen, because Lekanen is only an average player, if you consider him, is offensive zone. He does other things, but still, you need those kind of players if you want to Stanley Cup, and Montreal never going to be there for the next 5, 7, 8 years. So Lekanen at 26 years old, you bring a first-round pick, 20 years old, you're going to get another great prospect. It's a win for Montreal for what they got for Lekanen. I'm not saying they win the trade. They trade for what they got in return.
I know. It's a good point.
That's the reason about that. No, he's a second round pick, Baron. Martin St. Louis said the best thing today. I don't care the pick. They pick first, second, 3, 4, and in French, 1, 2, 3 in English. 1, 2, 3, unos, dos, tres, cuatro in Spanish. He said, I don't care when they get drafted. I just need players who can play hockey. And that's the best definition of what he's looking for. It's because when he said that, I don't care who he draft number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. I just want a player who can play hockey. So when I look for Harvey Pinard, a 7th-round pick, I don't see the 7th-round pick. I just want to see if Pinard can play hockey in NHL.
Right.
That's the best definition of what a great mindset coach behind the bench, how he evaluates the game.
Exactly.
That's the way to do that. Here we go. Renault said we still have a 2 minute. Justin Harris' production was way down this year compared to last and NCAA. Why does he get power play time right away? Romanov and Petrie and Savard got nothing last night. That's not fair.
Well, first of all, Harris is a much better skater than both Petrie and Romanov. So he's more of a quarterback style a defenseman that you need on the power play, even though I don't think he'll be the one. I think it'll be somebody like Barron or Gooley that will take over that role eventually. Secondly, his skating ability and hand-eye coordination is phenomenal, and that's what you need. You need to get creative on the power play, and I don't see that with Romanov. As much as I'd love Romanov, I don't see him as a power play quarterback. And Petrie, he used to be a little bit better, but it was mostly because he had Weber usually on the power play with him, and so he would attract a lot of the coverage, and therefore when he got the receiving pass, he had a very good shot, and he'd usually connect on those, right?
Yep. First of all, Petro is the worst defenseman on power play for all the 200 plus play power play for the last 4 years as a result. On the statistic analytics, that's Petri. Savard is the defenseman player. So it's like if you put Rick Grain as a power play. That's David Savard. So that gives you an idea about that one there. Thirdly, it's a period of evaluation. That's why he does this right now. It's not about they are better. It's not a game to be fair. It's the game they try to evaluate. That's what the mode of Montreal Canadiens at that moment. Evaluate who they are, they can do. Thirdly, I would say to you, Harris have less points this year because they try to work on his two-way center. And the Northeastern center system 1-2 more around the league this season compared to the year before. Don't worry about the point. Worry about if they can skate, if you have a better IQ, if you have a better stick and glean, if they can be a better at the point. At that moment, don't worry about Harris. It's going to be Justin Barron as the quarterback, the future for Montreal Canadiens. So it's not a matter about that, Renaud, about this. I gave you the best answer I can know about this. Mr. Jose, ENORTAP, for Toronto, would you use Campbell or Kilgren for the playoff?
Oh, you have to go Campbell. I think that he's shown that he can do it. Maybe not so much in the playoffs. He hasn't had much of a chance except for last year. And if you see that he has a game or two that's poor, then yes, you can definitely bring in Sjogren at that point. But Campbell's your man.
Yep, I agree with you. By the way, Yessi Kaski called me, Mr. ENORTAP, Star Finland 1, 2, and 3. I forgot to tell you in Finland 1, 2, and 3. So I just want to mention about that.
Uno, due, tre.
Yamo correct me about that one over there. That's what I've been about that. We welcome Mr. Blackhawks fan 97 and the house.
Hey,
he's coming directly from Chicago, Illinois. Blackhawks 97. Welcome back. Just behind that.
Special welcome.
It was a great presentation. Mr. Blackhawk, how it works is this. The first number is how many wins you got. The second number is how many losses you got. So last night you got 5-5. You got 5 W, and you lost 5 games of the 10 game total. So hopefully that'll give you an idea about that one over there. Can Huberdeau jump over McDavid for the Hart?
Yeah, definitely he can. But I'll tell you something. I'm going to say, look out for McDavid tonight. Now that he's finally been woken up and he doesn't find himself first overall, expect a multi-point game from him tonight.
Here we go. Yes, yeah, more explain about that one. No, because you'll be second or third best player on his team. Renaud said about that one over there. I would say he's right about that one over there. I think Barkov is the best player.
He's number 2. He's number 2 on the team, without a doubt.
McDavid won the Hart, and Matthews the Lindsay Bean. About that, don't forget to get on the likes. That'd be great. I should make another YouTube account called Nobody, so I want a total goal, Mr. That's what's happening about this. All right, I'm done, Mister. We cannot go there. We're going to answer your question after the show about Mr. ENORTAP. We have 4 games only tonight.
Only 4 games. Okay, so we'll put those in our window here. So we have Dallas and Edmonton. Well, the Stars sit in the second wild card spot right now in the West after that 6-2 loss to the Canucks on Monday. A team chasing Dallas for the final spot. As we mentioned, I think they hurt themselves last night, so I don't expect Vancouver to make a heck of a lot more noise going forward. The Stars now are 4 points ahead of Vegas with games in hand. Rupi Hintz continued his career season with a pair of goals against Vancouver. The forward has now 8 points in his past 5 games, including 3 multi-point efforts. The Oilers, second in the Pacific, head into the contest coming off of consecutive 4-0 wins against the Predators in Vegas. Edmonton has been rolling the past 5 weeks. They've gone, in the last 19 games, they've gone 14-3-2. after a stretch in which they had just won 2 out of 8 games. Overall, the Oilers are 21, 8 and 3 ever since Jay Woodcroft took over for Dave Tippett. So he's done I would say he's done a great job since that coaching change was made. One guy we forget and we wonder why Edmonton looks more balanced, and we give credit to Evander Kane that has come on board and helped out. But if you look at somebody like Warren Fogle, he's begun to find his game, I would say, over the past few weeks. I say it almost coincides since Woodcroft came into the picture. And Woodcroft put him on a line with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Derek Grant. And he's got 3 goals in his past 5 games. After prior to Woodcroft, he had only scored 3 goals in his previous 24 outings. So if this can continue, this would make Edmonton a much more dangerous team moving forward in the playoffs. I think we're going to see a little bit of exhibition of hockey here tonight. 2 teams that need the points desperately, especially Dallas. But I think Edmonton at home will come out on top by a score of 4-3. And like I said, expect McDavid to grab 2 or 3 points for sure and take over the lead again.
Boom, boom, boom. And boom. Oh, the next game. Okay. I don't know what to do again.
Yeah, Washington and Vegas. I mean, Washington has been one of the hottest teams lately. Vegas, how do you lose to New Jersey? Like, I still think that's the game that killed them. They're leaving all sorts of points on the table, walking away from this. DeBoer, he really didn't mince words about his team's playoff chances following that 3-2 loss on Monday to the Devils. He said, I think we have to win them all, though whatever's left. And it's not a stroke of genius, him saying that, but it's the reality of the matter, right? They got 5 games, and they have to win all 5. And it starts right here against Washington. Doesn't matter who your opponent is at this point. You have to put your best foot forward, and you have to play as if this is your last game. Vegas entered Tuesday 3 points behind the 3rd place Kings in the Pacific, with both teams having 5 games and a potential 10 points remaining. The Golden Knights also trailed Dallas and Nashville, who have a game in hand by 4 points for the Western wildcard spots. The Kings' 5 remaining games are against teams currently outside the playoff picture, including 2 against the Ducks and another one against the Kraken. Meanwhile, Vegas still has games against 3 pretty tough opponents. Just offhand, I remember they have definitely Dallas and St. Louis that they have to contend with next week. New Jersey, against New Jersey, Vegas finished with a 44-28 edge in shots on goal. And they also hit the post 3 times, but, close only counts in horseshoes, as we know. The bottom line was their goaltending did not live up to par. Leonard did not look very sharp in that game, and it cost them, especially when the score was 2-1, and he allowed that 3rd goal. Washington will play the 4th game of a 5-game road trip. They were the team that snapped Colorado's 9-game winning streak with that 3-2 victory on Monday to improve their road victory or their road record to an NHL best 24-8-5. For some reason, they like to be on the road more than they do at home. They play better hockey. They're a very physical team to contend with, so Vegas has to be very careful about that. They became the first Eastern team to defeat the Avalanche in regulation in Denver this year. Hard to believe, right? The only team from the East. The Capitals clinched the playoff spot following the New York Islanders' Sunday night loss to the Leafs. Washington is battling both Pittsburgh with 97 points for third in the Metro, and also Boston with 97 points for wild card positioning. Um, I think this game. I got to go with Vegas. I think they. Uh, I think they'll take this to overtime though, because Washington's been playing extremely well.
I go with Washington. I don't know why.
Okay, because you want me to catch up on the overall
Yeah, so
record
I want to
in your
put
head.
that race a little bit closer until to the end of the season.
I feel like Vegas. I'm trying to catch up to Coach in my
Kilo,
overall
he said he's
record
going to
here.
the jail tomorrow.
Okay, next game we have Colorado, and speaking of Devil, and Seattle. Coming off a rare loss, Colorado will look to start another winning streak when they visit Seattle tonight. The Avalanche had their 9-game winning streak and an 11-game point streak come to an end at the hands of the Capitals, as I just mentioned. Colorado twice came back to equalize the score, but Marcus Johansson's goal at 10:46 of the third period put Washington ahead for good in that game. Now, while Colorado's clinched the top seed in the West, the Panthers are still in close pursuit of them for the NHL overall lead, currently at 114 points. The Avalanche are looking to win the President's Trophy for the second consecutive year and for the fourth time in franchise history. Monday's setback was just the fifth time that the Avalanche have lost at home ice this year. Now, despite the 60-point gap between the Avalanche and the Kraken, Colorado will need a more offensive sharpness to top a Seattle team that's been very difficult for opponents to break down, especially lately. I find that in the last week and a half, 2 weeks, they've gotten a little bit stronger, and maybe it's because they got some healthy players back in the lineup, and that definitely helps. And the goaltending has been better as well. The Kraken are among the league leaders in fewest shots allowed per game, the fewest total shots allowed as well. So Monday's 4-2 win, for example, over Ottawa, we saw Ottawa only with 14 shots on net, and this was their lowest total of the season and in franchise history as well. A victory tonight would give the Kraken their first ever 3-game winning streak. So they have some motivation to go out there and try to win, of course. At one point, they were struggling with their power play. They were 0-16 in a drought that covered 9 games. But lately, they've been much better in that category as well. Nazem Kadri has missed Colorado's last 8 games due to an upper body injury, but he's currently traveling with the team with the Avalanche on their 3-game road trip. And he also participated in practice on Monday, so he could be a game-time decision. Eric Johnson, who's been out 2 games, and Andrew Cogliano has been out 1 game, are all questionable for tonight due to undisclosed injuries. Colorado won the previous 2 meetings with Seattle, and I think this will be the trifecta here. I think Colorado wins this game by a score of 5-2.
I have 5-1.
For you?
I just started a new matchup between Blackhawks and Danny right now. Right now they're fighting between them in the chat, so I just started. Who's going to get mad? Who's going to put someone down? Is it Blackhawks or Danny? The result of the game between Chicago and Arizona is going to be the winner of the match. The box match between Blackhawks and Danny about that. You said 5-2.
I said 5-2 for Colorado. Yeah.
Are
You
you
said
sure?
5-1. You said 5-1. Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure what I said.
I'm going to watch. I'm going to look on the sheet a little bit later. Yeah.
Okay, sure, no problem. And so that brings us to the last game of the night. I would usually say take out your pillows and have a nice snooze, but I think this has a lot of implications, this game. Arizona right now trails Montreal by 2 points. It would be interesting. And Chicago's playing horrible. Let's call a spade a spade. Uh, they've they've fallen in two straight games, and now they're on a 1-8-2 slide. The Coyotes are having a worse go of it in their last 7 games. They have a 7-game losing streak for starters, in which they've surrendered at least 5 goals in each defeat, and they've been outscored. Are you ready for this? 43-10.
Wow.
So somebody will jump back into the win column tonight. Unfortunately, we're not allowed to have ties, so one of these two teams is going to come away with 2 points. Ideally, I would love to see this game go to overtime and they both pick up points and get further away from Montreal as possible, but we'll see. The Coyotes are last in the league, just as I mentioned, 2 victories in their last 16 games. And in their favors the fact that Arizona has won 2 of the past 3 games against Chicago this year. We'll see if they can make it 3 out of 4. The Hawks are beginning a 3-game road trip after suffering a 5-2 loss at the hands of the Flames. Like the Coyotes, they're trying to keep their spirits high and find positives as the losses mount. But in reality, they're looking for the season just to be over and look forward to next year. Chicago's also trying to give some of their prospects an extended look. Guys like defenseman Alex Regula, who scored his first NHL goal on Monday. Regula, who has collected 25 points in 40 AHL games this year, needs to improve his defensive game after being a point per game player in the juniors. So offensively, he's there. They're trying to give him some time and see if he can improve his defensive game. I'm going to go with an overtime here, and I'm going to take the Hawks to win this one 4-3.
4-3.
4-3, yeah.
I go with Chicago. I don't want to go to jail with with Danny, so I would go with Chicago. What is your
total goals?
How many goals?
28.
Mr. ENORTAP?
28.
28. I go with 4-7, 28, 6.77, -1, -2, +3. I go with 24. 24.
But it adds up to 25 though. You sure?
No, it's good about that one over there. I got it perfectly great about that for sure. Fantasy forward McDavid for Mr. Andrew also with the rest. McDavid, where's McDavid?
Right, attaboy, Andrew. Take McDavid.
François nothing, but I hope that you're Mr. ENORTAP, it's time for the Go Fantasy about that one over there. And now we are at 8:40, and I start to like the fantasy now more at the pick the prediction. I don't know why, but I start to like
I'm sure you do. Anytime you have the lead, you like it more, don't you?
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I feel better now. I don't know why, but that's why I have a lack on prediction. I drop more because I want to be a little bit more at the end.
We have a weekend, a few days, so I will catch you.
Tonight is a good night for you because you don't have a lot of choice tonight for me.
I know. So I'm going to go with Colorado. And then on defense, I'm going to take Makar and Carlson. And forwards, I'm going to go with McDavid, Draisaitl, and McKinnon.
Wow. I give me Mr. Untitled with Edmonton. So far, so good, right? Here's my long shot now, defenseman. Orlov.
Orlov.
Samuel Girard.
Girard.
Now, I'm going with Ratanen.
Okay.
I'm going with Kane. Patrick Kane.
Patrick Kane, okay.
And I'm going with Kadri if he play. If he does not play, you have to send him for Kane.
All these ifs and buts.
Does it make sense?
Yeah, I hear you, Coach. I'll allow it. Although it's in the route and your accountants say that that's not allowed, but I will allow it just for you.
As if I don't know if Kadri played or not. It looked like he's played right now. So
I think okay, yeah, we'll see. Either way.
So enough. I will go with and then by the way, Mr. Untitled, why you don't take rope in hands?
I left it for Kelly.
Mr. Untitled, before you leave tonight, you have to do one more time.
This is one heck of a workout.
Super chat, Jose Duarte. One more time, $5. Reverse super chat. Super chat, Mr. Jose. Si vous avez fait wait, keep it up. At the end of the show, Mr. Untitled, maybe you don't know, but when the show started at 6:02, you was at 193. Now you are at 168. Mr. Untitled, you dropped about 20 pounds. So you should do more dancing because that's where you get more weight. It's a great exercise for you to come here every time. We're getting there for that one over there. Nice Campbell, Coach Francois said. Yeah, exactly what you do with your dolphin, Mr. Flipper in the house. About that one over there, I have him. There we go. Hey, same with me, Coach Danny said. Hi, Jose. Thanks so much, Danny, for Jose. You should give Danny a second pick if Kelly does not play. About that, Jose, thank you so much. Everybody calls Jose. And we have Mr. King of Gamer gave his result at the end of the show. Mr. Untitled, we have to give you one more things to do. And it's time to do what, Mr.? It's time to go shoot out! Mr. Untitled, it's time to tell us what are you looking for tonight between the 4 game and the NHL. Let me a little bit more what your expectation, and let's move on to the next thing.
Well, really, 2 of the games have significant putouts tonight in terms of the standings. Dallas and Edmonton is going to be the game I think Coach is doing tonight. It's going to be exciting game. I think these 2 teams are going to put everything on the line tonight. Edmonton would love to secure second place in their division. Dallas could pretty much put themselves in a great position. If they get this win, they'll put them at 93. LA right now is at 92, and you have a very interesting situation for next year with the games that are left over. And of course, as I mentioned before, Vegas has to win. Their backs are to the wall. They have to win this game against Washington. It's not an easy opponent. We'll see if they do it. And yet again, I'm telling you, look out for Connor McDavid tonight.
Would be very interesting. A couple of good games for sure about that. Danny, I got your Kadri for Kane. What I'm looking for tonight is who's going to the jail tomorrow night. That's what I'm looking for. Who's going to be a 1-3 tonight?
Well, it can't be both of us. One of us will go.
Exactly about that. So it'll be interesting about it. We'll see who's going to get there. But we are going to do, like you said, the game between Edmonton and the Dallas Stars at 8:30. Good timing to do that. I think it will be great. And we can follow up a little bit later. Our other game is happening about that one over there. But we'll see happening. Tomorrow we're going to wake up maybe with Vancouver out of the playoff. Vegas struggle more and Dallas may be out, or it could be Dallas back more closer and then Vegas maybe more closer for the race. The best scenario, Mr. Untitled, Dallas lost, and the Vegas win.
Vegas win. Yeah.
That would be really interesting about that one over there. Because if both do loss, it's not like nobody excited about the fact Kings get there about that. That bracket gel time also. I'm moving to go 3-1 at least. I represent you for the W. Mr. Natal, before we leave, we want to remind you one more thing. That's the way to go to jail tomorrow night. You are awesome. You are amazing. You are the best. And remember, you have greatness inside of you. I can't wait to see who is the boxing match winner. Is it Danny and the ref in the left corner? Is it Blackhawks in the right corner? Stay tuned. We're going to give you the winner of the match tomorrow night at 6 o'clock p.m. for another warm-up show with the insider, the best on the internet, the Mr. ENORTAP, of course, Coach Frenchy. Have an amazing, great night, everybody. Of course, be well, be healthy, and funny. We not only dominate your day, funny, we dominate what, Mr. ENORTAP? 2022! Have an amazing, great night, everybody.
Good night, everyone. Good night, Coach.
Thank you so much. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you, Jose. Thank you for the super chat, NHL, Jose Duarte, Andrew Lepage, François Pitre, Blackhawks Fan 97, John Grega, Danny T, RJ, Blackhawks, King of Gamer, Yamo, François, Kelly, Nooner, Joseph, Run with King.